What's going on, my fellow Americans? Welcome back to the Snake Pit. This one is episode 132, and today's guests were Ray and Dre. They came to talk about Lubbock-Con and all the information about that, how you can help, what it's about. You know, that whole life it was really interesting to get to sit and talk with them, and I'm thankful for that. And you know, got a little insight, and we learned a little bit, and it's a cool way. Like, if you really like kind of like nerd stuff, I guess that's what they say. If you like that stuff and you kind of want to get involved and find a community, I would listen, you know, and get in contact with these people. It was really great. I had a great time. Thank you, Jen, for helping, and I hope you guys enjoy this one. And you can find a community here in Lubbock if that's what you like. Other than that, please subscribe. Please, please, please. If you're new, listen. If you're a new listener, please subscribe. That'll change my life. Very easy on you. And check out the website if you want to support even more. Buy my merch. Subscribe to the Patreon. Bonus episodes every week. I hope this one was about as kid friendly as I can be. I tried. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. All right, man. Here we are. We're good. So if y'all would please let the world know who you guys are.
My name is Ray, and I am the event coordinator for Lubbock-Con for 2021 and from here on out.
And my name is Dre, D-R-E, like doctor.
Nice.
And I'm the artist liaison for Lubbock-Con.
Awesome. So thank you for being here.
Yeah,
I really appreciate that. I just the power of Instagram. I just see people. I don't know who posted y'all's Instagram, and I just DM'd them. I was like, "Hey, you want to be on?" That's what I do now. I'm just like trying to get different people in Lubbock.
Yeah.
So if you would please tell us, what is Lubbock-Con?
So Lubbock-Con in itself, it's a nonprofit organization, and we put together events, pop culture events for the community, and with the community. What that means is that our biggest event right now is Lubbock-Con, the convention Lubbock-Con, kind of like a Comic-Con. But the difference from us and other conventions is that because we're nonprofit, we don't make any money off of it. All the money that is made goes right back into the event. So the more people we get, the more money we make, means we can have an even bigger and better event the next year. So
yeah, I thought like it was weird because you get suggested accounts to follow.
Mm-hmm.
So after I started DMing y'all, I got other I didn't know there was more than one Comic-Con event in Lubbock.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, well, that's another big difference with Lubbock-Con is that we are local. It's run by local people, volunteers.
Nice.
And like I said, we're nonprofit. Nobody is getting paid to do this. Nobody makes money off of the Lubbock-Con name. We are the only local convention. So.
And how long has this been going on?
This year, 2021, we would have been going on our 6th convention.
Okay.
But because of the pandemic, we weren't able to have it.
So you've missed the last 2 years?
No, just this past one. Our last one was in 2020.
It's like February, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
So we've had 5 already. We would have been 6. So.
And honestly, I've never been to one of these things. So what is if you can do the convention, what does it consist of? Because obviously I think a lot of people are familiar with Comic-Con. They know that event. Right. Is it similar to that?
So it's similar, but as big as you can get it when it comes to Lubbock.
Okay, yeah, so, I understand that.
We're not going to have the A-list movie stars and all that stuff come out here. So the big thing with the Lubbock-Con, it is a convention. It's a pop culture convention. It's not just a Comic-Con.
Okay.
So we have everything across the board. We have comics, of course. We have anime. We have movie, pop culture stuff, horror, all kinds of stuff, everything across the board. Anything that's
video
pop culture.
Gaming, tabletop
video
gaming.
games, tabletop.
Like Dungeons and Dragons, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Cool. That's awesome.
So and then when you come to the convention, we'll have some celebrity guests. We'll have artists, of course, comic book creators, authors, writers. We have vendors, of course. We have a big vendor hall where you can buy all sorts of pop culture, from statues, from artwork, from whatever you can think of, you can find it there.
I have a pinhead figure from Lubbock-Con.
See, there you go.
Yeah, I got an old like.
You've been to it?
No, it was a gift to me, but
Oh.
it was bought at Lubbock-Con.
Awesome.
that's
It's like a prize. Like,
Same.
So all these years you've been, Lubbock-Con's been around. Have you been involved in it? All these years, have both of y'all been involved in it?
So pretty much,
Pretty much,
I've been involved since year one, as far as when the event was starting to be organized to have the first one. So I've been from the get go. I wasn't there for the conception of it, for when it first started created, but when the original people that got together to create Lubbock-Con, they did a call out for people to come in and help and organize it. I was one of the people that was there from the beginning. So
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And I've been there probably since I guess before the organization was second year, right? Because
Yeah.
I went to it the first year. My husband's an artist, and he was actually somebody who showed some art there and stuff for the first one. We got an opportunity to do that, and so that's when I met everybody, and it kind of just grew from there. So
Yeah, so it's like a community thing, like
yeah.
in
Yes,
itself, a
very
community
much.
in a community.
Yeah.
very much so.
So
Yes.
that is one of our biggest things with Lubbock-Con is we are here for the community because it's created by the community. And when it comes to like being a nerd or a geek, you don't realize how many other aspects there are, in your own community.
Would you say you're a nerd or a geek?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Definitely.
What draws you to that like life? I've always like I like that stuff. I'm just not that invested as other people are. Like I like anime,
Mhm.
but I'm not like.
What's
super
funny for
into it.
me is that I don't understand people who aren't. So
Yeah,
it's
no.
funny for me that like you don't understand people who do. Because
No, I like
I
it.
think because we're surrounded by it so much that it's just like it's a lifestyle. It's like part of what we do. It's just
No, that's what I like.
second nature to us.
I like that stuff, but I love people who immerse themselves. Like it's an effing culture. Like it's cool. It's like
It's
it is.
definitely I guess you could say it's a
I
lifestyle.
can't cuss this podcast, guys. It's gonna be very hard for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give myself 3 strikes. That was number 1 right there. But yeah,
You know what? That was half of one because you
Okay.
caught yourself.
Okay.
So we'll give you that.
all right, cool.
I think what interests me with a lot of that stuff, even growing up when I was a kid, a lot of it was the stories, the characters, and you get pulled into different worlds and stuff like that too. It's a little different for me as far as like reading, because you do have like the graphic novels or comic books and stuff like that, and like cartoons. Even people who don't realize it, who if you watch growing up like the Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers or stuff like that, like
I love
that,
Power Rangers.
that's part of
Yeah.
part of all that. So, but yeah, it's definitely something different. I wouldn't know exactly what the answer would be as far as like
that's
why.
kind of
I
hard
don't
because
remember
that's
my-
kind of hard because
What was my
like-
question?
basically like why are we into it?
Like,
Oh,
kind of
well,
thing.
yeah, because like when I've done a lot of art, like musicians, and I'm always like,
Right.
what got you into music?
Right.
So that's kind of like only like
I
what
think
got you.
for me, I mean, Ray pretty much hit that on the head with the stories. I love movies, and so movies for me have always been kind of like an escape from real world stuff. You go into a dark room for 2 hours, you get to see this awesome story, and kind of feel like you're sucked into it and become a part of it and its experience, and then you leave, and then you have like, okay, I now have to go back, right? So that part about it, and I'm the artist liaison, so I love art. So everything is an art form to me. So whether it's the cosplay, whether it's the actual artists themselves, the figures, the collectibles, all of that is art to me. So I love that. I can love and appreciate every single aspect of it. And I think a con is it hits every little bit of those forms for me.
So it's kind of just like grouping it all together, but
Right.
you
And
can
it's
just
also
find different,
like, again,
your own niche in it, right?
yeah,
it's like it's also like we said, it's a community. So you find other people who are into the same things you are, and then you relate, and then you become friends, and it grows from there, and you become a
Yeah.
family. So
So if there's not a convention, what are y'all doing to like state what's happening outside of the convention? Like every week, every month, is there like a meetup, or y'all like? Is it like, since it's a nonprofit, it's like a business?
I mean,
You know what I mean? Because
yes
it's like
and no.
one
So-
event a year. So what
Yeah.
happens when that event's not happening?
So the Lubbock-Con event itself, like the convention, is under the umbrella of Lubbock-Con Ventures. That's the nonprofit organization.
Okay.
And right now, because we're slowly growing, they are looking into doing other events and stuff like that too. But as far as like if it's a business, I don't know if I could answer that question because I don't understand that aspect of it. Because the board of directors of Lubbock-Con Ventures, they're the ones that actually deal with the whole, I guess you can call it the business side
business
of that.
part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just the event coordinator for Lubbock-Con, the event.
For the most part, it's a show.
Yeah.
Right. It's a show that we like put on for people. To be able to come together, meet other like-minded people. And I think that's a big thing in the nerd geek community. A lot of us feel lonely because a lot of us, when you were little, we got made fun of for liking those types of things. And now all of a sudden it's like super cool to be
it's kind of
into.
odd. Like everybody likes it now.
Right. And so now it's like, oh, you have, I have a stormtrooper tattoo, and people are like, oh my God, that's so cool. You have that. Whereas before people would have been like, wow, you're a nerd. Like you like Star Wars, So I think it's another place to be able to find your people, to connect and feel like I want to come out here and be around these people that love what I love. And that just genuinely makes people happy. So I think that's a really cool part of it too.
Does that count as one?
No.
Okay.
You're still at only half a point.
So right now y'all are doing like a virtual thing. What was that? Like a once a month? It's like a theme, right?
So this year, our motto this year is we're not having a convention this year. We're having a year-long convention.
Okay.
So every month we have a different theme. One of the genres that makes up Lubbock-Con. So the first month, which we started, was February. We started in March.
Yeah.
It was tabletop games. And then in April, it was anime.
Nice.
May was kids. And then this month is video games.
Okay.
And then next month, we're going to do sci-fi. So, and then the following months, we'll have like comics, we'll have horror, we'll have cosplay and fantasy.
So what does that mean? Like, what do you do with that?
So every month we have like small little in-person events because we started it back in March.
Mhm.
We couldn't have large gatherings, and the year before we had already planned on not having the convention that for this year. So we're doing small little in-person events. We have movie showings. We call them the PopCon movie nights. And the movie itself is kind of related to the theme of the month. And it could be like an older movie or something just related to the theme. And then we're also doing when a new movie premieres, now that more movies are coming out too, we're set up at Premiere Cinemas.
Okay.
And we'll have a few artists there, maybe a vendor or two. And we might have some
I think I seen that.
Yeah.
Last month.
Yeah.
Now I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like anytime that you'll see
was
that stuff
us.
like this year, that's us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then also like virtually, we're also sharing any local content. Anybody who sends us like their streams, their podcast, anything that's related to that theme. It could be artwork, cosplays, videos like how-to videos, just pictures of something that's related to that theme. We share it on our pages, just kind of to still keep the community involved, and also to have little small events to help some of the artists and vendors still sell their work since we weren't able to have a big convention.
How can like a local artist get involved with that?
Just by messaging us,
Okay.
either through Facebook or Instagram, or also if it's specifically an artist that wants to get involved, then they would contact Dre.
They can email me at artists@lubbockcon.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew a few people who
Yeah.
would actually probably
Yeah.
like to
They
do
can
that.
always email me and just say like, hey, I'm reaching out to you. I'm interested in, joining in some of y'all's events or whatever. And yeah, I can contact them and see what they got going on.
And is that the same way they could like reach out to y'all for like volunteering to work there, or like the event or something? How does that work? Like, what if
So-
somebody wants to just be a part of it?
Yeah. If somebody wants to be a part of it, they can just email Lubbock-Con at Lubbock-Con at gmail.com.
At Gmail.
Or again, they can message either the Facebook or Instagram, and then we can direct them to whoever they need to get in contact with. We're always taking volunteers, anybody that wants to help, and that's the big thing. Like we are a nonprofit, so every single person is a volunteer, and it takes a lot of hard work. I know a lot of us have jobs. A lot of us are business owners, parents. They got families. Some of them are single parents. We're all have different lives, but we all have one common love of the convention, Lubbock-Con, and all that too. So everybody volunteers their time, but we have all kinds of people that are volunteer with us, and we'll take more.
There you go, people. You want to get involved? I know I can think of some people right now who would want to be involved in this. That's really cool. That's why I wanted to talk to y'all. Just to, I guess now that everything's opening up, things are happening. We get more involved, meet up with people more.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, man.
And we're just now starting up to start planning for next year.
Okay.
So Lubbock-Con, the convention itself, is always on the last weekend of February, and since we didn't have it this year, we're hoping it comes back even bigger and better than last year. The 2020, which was the last one that we had, that was our biggest one yet so far. We had, I think, over 5,000 attendees.
Yeah. Nice.
And we've been growing every single year.
Is it like a 3-day event?
It's a 2-day.
Two-day.
Usually on the Friday before, we do have some small events here and there, but right now it's still a 2-day event.
Nice.
So.
Is there cosplay?
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
Like a contest or something?
Yeah.
Because I think that just happened like a couple weeks ago. I just saw somebody put it on their Instagram story. And
we have a kids cosplay contest, and then we have the one for the adults. So it's really cute to see all little kids in their little outfits and stuff.
So you have a lot of kids involved in this?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. And that's another awesome thing about it is that because we are so community based and we are so family friendly, we try to involve everybody, especially the kids. So we usually have a kids section as well, just so that way everybody can come. If I were going somewhere, I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she goes with me everywhere. So I like to be able to go into something and share that experience with her, because a lot of us who are mainly into this stuff right now, we're like in our 30s, late 30s, so there's a lot of nostalgia with stuff. And so with your kids, it's stuff that you can kind of pass on to them and experience with them and talk to them about like when you were a kid. And so it's fun to bring them around and have stuff for them to do and get involved in too. So make little memories with them.
That made me think of, I don't know, is there a lot more like acceptance in this, like all these things now as opposed to when you were younger? You know what I mean? Because you said a lot of people
say yes.
Because even like I'm not like a bully or anything. I never bullied anybody, but I remember like thinking
what bullies say.
No, I don't want people to think I was like making fun of people, but I always like I knew people who were in anime, and I always thought it was like for real. I was like, that's kind of weird.
Right.
But I kept it to but now I love it, and I'm like, and my sister's into it. She's 12, and I'm like, I guess it's more like mainstream now, almost. Would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
For
because
sure.
Even during the anime month that we had, me growing up, like I watched some anime. I wouldn't say that I'm like an anime fanatic, but yeah, growing up for sure, you'd hear people talking, bad about the people who were into anime, who like that kind of stuff. And now anime is like completely different. Like almost everyone in the schools are into anime. It really surprises how many kids are into anime.
My daughter is a full-on weeb. So like 16, like I said, she's super.
What'd you a weeb?
A weeb.
What is that?
Yeah, like a
I'd say
kid,
my sister's
like a kid who's like super into anime.
It's kind of like it's somebody who you would consider kind of like a nerd,
like a nerd for anime.
Like, but it's somebody who's like specifically into anime.
My sister draws that stuff.
I'll be the first one to admit it because she's so into it. I definitely have never been a fan of anime.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of stuff about it that I'm like, that's a little dramatic or that's a little too much for me. But I think a lot of us sometimes we don't necessarily, because we don't understand it, it's easy for us to go, oh, I don't like that. But sometimes when you know what I mean? And so like sometimes when you give something a chance, it may not be that it's like all of it is terrible. It just might not be the right one for you, because there are some animes that she's watched and I'm like, yeah, I'm not okay with that. And it's not because I don't know. There's just something about it that I just don't feel it. You know what I mean? But there's other ones that she watches and I'm like, I literally have been like hanging on by every word. And she's like, Mom, this episode's coming out. We got to watch it. And I'm like, wait for me. Don't watch it without me, you know? And so she thinks it's funny that I'm starting to kind of get into it. I won't fully admit that I like it yet, but for her, I will watch.
Did she watch that volleyball one? You know what I'm talking about?
Dude, she watches so many.
There's
I can't
like
even keep up.
one.
But yeah, I think I've heard of that.
There's all kinds.
She watches, I mean, she watches everything, but right now specifically, she's watching Fruits Basket. And it's like about to end. So she's losing her mind right now because it's only got like 3 more episodes. We actually watched one earlier before I went to work.
Nice.
But yeah, I think that's a big part of even just the geek and the nerd community. A lot of people don't understand why we're into it. So they're just like, oh, I don't like it, you know? But like I said, I think if you give it a chance and you kind of see what really goes on.
I'll say that about anime. Give it a chance.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
It's actually really fun, you know? And I think for a lot of us, like I'm huge into Halloween. And so I always love dressing up. And I know I saw your tattoo earlier. I'm like, I've already scoped that out. And so you know, for me, dressing up, doing in costumes and stuff like that was always so much fun. And so cosplay is something that I think is really, really great because you get to dress up in costumes and who cares if you're an adult, like, you know, and we have jobs now, we can pay for that and nobody can tell us nothing.
There you go.
But I also think cosplay is really cool because like my daughter's super shy. And when she started to cosplay like 5 years ago, that was the first time that it ever really helped her gain confidence because she could be somebody else. And because she was so shy before, when she's in costume, she's like she's that character. So she's like, oh, I have to be powerful. I have to be, you know, this person. And I literally saw her go from walking with her little shoulders hunched down to like head up, you know, full on like confident and being whoever she wanted to be. And so that I think that for a lot of us, that also is something that helps us come out of our shell because like I said, a lot of us are, you know, little introverts and we don't really want to get out there. But those are the kind of things that really help us come out of our shell and express who we are and be who we want to be. So another reason why to love cons and this community. It gives you somewhere to be yourself.
Yeah, man. I like that. That's what I'm finding is like being yourself.
Yeah.
Just, I guess whatever avenue you take, you take something.
I'm super huge on self-expression. Like, I mean, obviously I have green hair. So, you know, however you need to express that, whether it be, you know, through your hair, your clothes, your tattoos, your music, whatever you need to do. I think it's great because again, to me, that's an art form. And so I think it's great to be able to get that out and find people who appreciate everything that is involved in all those things because it is a lot of work. And so, you know, when you see somebody with full on makeup, you know, we're like, wow, that took some time and that's really cool, you know? So I think it's just cool to find a community where you can feel like, hey, I can be myself and nobody's going to judge me for walking around in an anime costume, you know? It feels nice to be loved.
I get a mini version of that in here.
Yeah.
It's me. I get to do whatever I want in here.
Exactly.
I feel that 100%. I was gonna I got something in my eye, so I keep rubbing it. But you said you like movies, and you said like it's an experience. Yeah, I missed that. It used to be an experience for me.
I know that's one of the things that made me really, really sad when movie theaters closed up because, like I said, it's something we get so. For me, I'm constantly busy. I have 2 businesses. I have a 16-year-old. I have a husband who work. Like, you know, I'm constantly everywhere. And sometimes you need to get out of that. And I don't have money to go on vacation or do all these things. But to be able to walk into a movie theater, sit there, and everything's dark. So it's kind of like you're just closed into this one little space and really get like engulfed in that experience is really cool because you feel like you're in it, you know, and it just takes you out of that mindset. So a lot of people, you know, are super into self-care right now, right? So like you get your nails done, you get a massage, you get whatever, and you use those experiences, right? You use those experiences to decompress, to take time away from your crazy daily schedule. And movies for me was that. It was my self-care. And so it was a time where I could enjoy it with my family because especially if it was a Marvel movie, as soon as we were done, we would go eat dinner or hang out, or we would just be standing outside the movie theater for however long.
Yeah, we sometimes like an hour.
Yeah, we would be didn't even realize we'd been standing there for an hour because we're like, oh man, did you see that part? Did you see this? You see that?
Have you been watching Loki?
Yes, I haven't seen the episode from today, but I saw the first one.
I haven't seen the new one yet.
Yeah. I'm all, don't tell me yet. My daughter will kill me.
Well, it's crazy. But, so y'all are keeping up with that one?
Oh yeah.
WandaVision.
Talk about a Marvel fan.
Did you? Captain America, Winter Soldier, and the Falcon. I really like that one.
Right.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
that one was good. And I'm kind of getting into that. Like, I found this guy on YouTube who's somehow gets the craziest leaks from Marvel. Like, he has a guy inside. Like, within hours, he's telling like leaks about. So right now it's Spider-Man. I know the whole plot of Spider-Man.
And spoilers. Don't.
I'm not gonna. So I used to, when the Marvel movies and all that first were coming out, I used to be that. Like, I used to be like looking for what's next, but then I realized I'm kind of ruining it for myself.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody in a comment said that he's like, "Do you ever get tired of being like just knowing everything?" And I'm like, "Not right now. I just like knowing. It's so cool."
I don't know, Ray. Do you get tired of knowing everything?
But a part of like the experience, I remember like movie theaters used to not have assigned seats. So you'd have to get in line. I missed that.
So that's funny you say that, because I remember when
a movie premiere.
you buy the ticket like a week before.
Yeah.
Or we would go to the midnight premiere.
Like my husband, when Spider-Man came out, the first Spider-Man, when that came out, he's such a huge Spider-Man fan. And he got off of work early. He went and sat in that line by himself just to go watch the movie by himself. Like, he did not care.
Me and my friends used to do that.
Yeah. And it's so, I miss that. I miss standing in the line and waiting to get in and like running in the theater to try to get the best seat. And,
well, because that wasn't just like our time is this time, we already have our seats.
Right.
It's like, if you want to get a good seat, if you got to get there early, if you want to sit with your friends, y'all all have to be in time.
If y'all all want to sit in the same row, you better be there 30 minutes or an hour before.
It's like chilling like in like the arcade at the movie theater was so much fun.
Gallagher.
Oh, that was so fun.
We used to get like 4 or 5 hours before, and I don't even know what we would do.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
Yeah. And now it's like, my show starts at 7:30. I can walk in at 7:29 and
Which I'm not complaining about that either, because I'm spoiled with that.
No, I mean, I'm late to everything. So it's also kind of cool, because I'm still that person who's like, oh, it's cool. The trailers are another 10 minutes. I'm fine.
To reserve like 5 seats.
Yeah.
But it's just like
you're laying across the row waiting for your friends.
It's just like, I love like the movie experience as well. And it's just like, it was just like such like a fun thing to go to the midnight premiere of the newest, like Leatherface or the Evil Dead remake or whatever. I remember like those experiences too. Or like when The Conjuring came out, I went and saw it at midnight, right at midnight, and it was the scariest thing ever, getting out at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I think my favorite thing about being in a movie theater is the fact that you're surrounded by people who are all experiencing the same thing at the same time as you. And so like when we watched Infinity War and Endgame, like everybody gasping at the same time, like the whole collective crowd just, or like cheering at the same time, or crying, or what, just those things. It's like, it's so cool, because in that moment, again, because the world is so heinous and you don't really get those kind of great experiences, in that moment, you're sharing a moment with a full group of people, and y'all are all happy at the same time. You're all excited at the same time, and you're all excited about the same thing. And it's just fun to have that like united feeling, that you never really get to feel anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I love those experiences too. It's just really fun.
That.
Do you ever go to Alamo Drafthouse?
Yes.
I miss so much. Opens next month. I literally tweeted today that I really missed Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah.
Like, I do hair, so it's just like,
same.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
I know. I'm like, hi, friends.
No, but like, I deal with people every single day, so it's like you have this like front with them every single day. So I'm off Wednesdays, Thursdays. So I would always get up on a Wednesday and catch like the 11 a.m. showing of whatever random screening they had for a limited time. I would just, that was my like little movie time, and it's just like, I love going to the movies by myself. Yeah. Like, I love
on the flip end of that, it's also nice to go into a theater when no one's in there but you.
God, I know.
It's so relaxing, and it's like you can spread out, you know what I mean? Like no one else is in there, and you can just chill.
Or it would be so funny if just like one person was just in the theater and you'd be like, hey, what's up? Hey, stay up there.
I see you.
Yeah.
Don't come over here, but I see you.
Yeah.
Movie 16 was the best theater for that.
Yeah.
I'd always go over there and there's nobody there.
Yeah.
No matter what
Those
time.
early bird specials.
Yeah.
Ugh, I know.
Yeah.
I'm actually from San Antonio, and so we had like dollar movie theaters, which were always great. I really miss those.
Well, we had one here, but it burned down.
Quote unquote.
It was
Mysterious.
Cinemark used to do the $5 on Tuesday.
Yeah,
That was awesome. I don't know what happened to that.
Alamo Draft House did that after 10. Yeah, after 10 p.m.
Oh,
It was like $5 or $6 or
That's
something
late.
like that. It is not late.
on the weekday, I gotta,
I'm like, well,
going to
so my
sleep.
husband's a tattoo artist and I do hair, and so our life is at night. So 10 o'clock is like basically afternoon to us.
See, I landscape, so I gotta be up early.
Oh yeah,
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm an old
No,
man.
we don't start our day until like noon,
I'm an old man.
if that.
I go to sleep early. I like to be up early.
Yeah.
You like horror? Is that what you said?
I do. Yeah.
What's your favorite horror movie?
Oh my God! Please don't ask me.
Nobody
that.
ever. I want somebody to answer that question.
Because it's hard to pick, right? So what's funny is that if you knew me probably 10 years ago, I would have told you I'm never walking into a scary, like I literally would not walk into, if my husband wanted to watch a scary movie, I was like, you can go by yourself. You can go find a friend. Like, I'm not going with you. I remember watching The Ring through my sweater, because I didn't sleep for a week after that. He pretty much begged me to go watch it. And I was like, fine, I'll do it for you. Now I'm like, ooh, The Conjuring 3 is coming out. So I had to work my way up slowly to all that. But I've always loved the aesthetic of it, I think, more than everything else. But I love a good villain. I'm super into villains. And so there's just something about that whole storyline. Villains are so much more interesting. So I think in the same way horror characters are so much more interesting, just because they've got so much story behind them. I feel like villains are so misunderstood. It's like, why did you become that way? You didn't wake up going, oh, I'm going to go stab this guy. I mean, maybe you did, but a lot of people didn't. And so it's like, what made them become what they are now, but I guess to answer your question, Candyman is one of my favorite ones. I love the Conjuring series. Those are really cool. Scream.
I love Scream.
Scream's right up there. Those are my comfort horror movies. The Shining.
Yes.
Those are kind of the ones that I'll go to if I just want to pop something on and sit there and do nothing. I'll definitely put on Scream, The Shining, Candyman. Those are my ones I always go to. But I do love The Conjuring. There's something, and it's more because I love detective and murder investigations and stuff like that. Ed and Lorraine.
Ed and Lorraine.
Yeah. And
Shout out to them.
Yeah. They're super cool. But there's something about those stories that are just so interesting to me. I love the storylines of things. So if you can get a good story and get me guessing the whole movie and keep me like that,
Nice.
That's awesome. Because I'm one of those people that within the first 10 minutes, I've already figured it out.
Really?
So I'm if you can keep me guessing the whole time, that's a pretty good movie.
So what's the horror film that changed your mind on horror?
Wow. That's tough.
What switched for you to be
so I think the more that I got into, I wouldn't classify M. Night Shyamalan as a horror
he is.
director.
I've seen a documentary
but
about it.
I've seen, oh my God. Is it what is it called? I can't even remember what
Is
it's
it the
called.
one where you see that ghost?
You see the little boy in the mirror? Dude, I
If you know the name
know.
of that, let me know.
Okay,
I've only watched it once.
No, me too. I'm convinced that's one of
No,
those
it's
movies that
terrifying,
doesn't
boy.
exist.
It's scary.
You know what I mean?
I watched it once and it was just
It was so great. So I think watching Signs is one of my top favorite movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about M. Night Shyamalan is that he messes with your mind the entire movie. He makes you think that it's one thing, and then towards the end, it's completely something else. And then there's a message in it.
And I feel like maybe that's why they don't consider him like a horror director.
Yeah.
Because he puts so much story into his movies versus it's if you think about John Carpenter.
Right.
He's just kind of very bare, here's this set of people. Here's our
Right.
antagonist, and they're
Right.
gonna meet.
And it's true because I saw the Rob Zombie Halloween before I saw the original John Carpenter Halloween, and I'm glad that I did. And a lot of people are probably going to kill me for that,
I like that one.
but I'm glad that I
like
did
both.
because Rob Zombie Halloween was so much more story to it. And when I watched the John Carpenter one, I was like, dude, if I would have watched this first the whole time,
So you're
I
not
would've-
like you don't mind the origins of things,
Oh.
right?
no.
Okay.
Yeah. No, like I if I would have watched that one first, I would have been pissed.
Because I know a lot of
like,
people are like, well, you don't need to explain this. You know, when they redid all the slasher things.
So,
like,
you know what? Some of them, I'm not going to say that all of them need to be redone. Some of them are better left alone.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
just don't even touch them. They're fine. But I like that they did do that one because I feel like when I watched that one, there were so many gaps in that story. Because again, I'm that person who puts everything together. So I'm like, how did you get from this person to that person? And why is this one over here? And why is that over there?
I
You
see
know,
what
and
you
it,
mean.
it bothers me because then I feel like I have answers that are, or questions that aren't answered and I need closure, you know? So,
Okay.
but, so definitely Signs was one of the biggest things that was like, wow, you had me that whole movie. Like that one just blew my mind. And the only other time I've felt like that is when I saw Get Out.
Oh yeah.
Jordan Peele, like
Oh,
that,
So are you looking forward to the Kenny
yes. Oh my God. I cannot wait. August 27th, I think is when it comes out. And
Something
I
like that, yeah.
cannot wait for that. I'm so sad that it's been pushed back this long.
It'll be
Um,
great. I don't know. I really don't judge remakes because
Yeah. No, I don't. I honestly, I never go into anything with expectations because that way you never get, let down.
Mhm.
So I always just, and again, I appreciate art for what it is. So even if I don't like it, I appreciate all the time and effort and everything that went into making that film. So
but I love Jordan Peele.
yeah,
I really liked him in.
You're a fan of his?
I do. I really like him a lot. I haven't watched the Twilight Zone.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen those
I hear
either.
they're pretty cool though.
Mhm.
But he's got Get Out, and then he's got Us.
Us, yeah.
And
Us was good.
I don't know if y'all noticed like the Easter eggs in Us, but there was like so much like horror throwbacks that he was just putting in there.
Yes.
And it's just like I just thought that was so cool that he's
Also,
like
if you
a
put
legit
Winston
fan.
Duke in anything, I'm gonna watch it. So like
There you go.
it could have been the most worst second movie he ever made, and I would have watched it because he's in it. So
What about you over there, man? You like horror?
Yeah.
Or
Not
you?
really.
So you're- you're-
so,
But you-
On the
I'm
flip
the
side,
complete opposite.
He's like, I'm so bored.
I'm not really into horror because, like, for me, after a while, they just became predictable, and it was like, I mean, like, I do like the characters and all that stuff too, but it's like, for me, I want to be entertained,
Mhm.
and horror movies just don't really do that for me.
Yeah.
The latest one that I have seen that I actually really did like was Doctor Sleep.
Oh, I love
Oh,
And
That was a good one.
when I watched that one, I was like, okay, this is a good horror
Yeah.
movie, or I guess more of a thriller, really. Or,
yeah.
So- But watching that one, it was like
What's
That was
funny
really
is that
good.
I was scared about how that one was going to turn out again because the sequel and it's from Shining and it's like I have such a high
Mhm.
expectation for the Shining whatever. But when he saw it before I did, and I was like, how I always judge things by what his opinions are because most of the time, if he says he likes it, then it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so when he told me he liked it, I was like, oh my god, okay, I'm actually excited for this now.
I didn't mind it. I liked it a lot. And
I
love The Shining.
really
I
loved
love
it.
Kubrick,
Yeah.
But I thought it was really cool. I
Yeah.
thought they tied it in perfectly
Yes.
without making
I
it
love-
too much of a sequel.
Yes. I love that they did it just enough.
Mhm.
It wasn't too much. It wasn't overdone, and they also were able to like make a
Yeah.
whole other story out of it at
Yeah.
the same time
Without
So-
too much fan service. Fan
Yep.
service can kill a film.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
I think fan
exactly.
service killed the last 3 Star Wars films. So
I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I've got some people that will agree with that.
Yeah.
Did you like the last three?
I mean, I didn't mind them. Like, I'm not
Same.
I'm
For
not
what they
a
were.
huge fan of Star Wars.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
I like Star Wars. I'll go watch the movies and all that, but I like, to me, it's just like another film genre or
Yeah.
another.
So you like Marvel a lot?
Yeah,
right?
Marvel's my thing.
What's your favorite Marvel movie? I like Winter Soldier. That's my favorite.
Okay, minus Infinity War and Endgame, or
Yeah,
counting
no,
those-
all of it.
okay. So of course the first one is Endgame, because it was just done so well. I honestly cried in that one.
Nice.
And it was mainly because of how happy I was seeing all that
Yeah.
going down. And but if we're not counting like the last two movies, because those kind of a
Those are kind of like a given.
Yeah, those
you
are
know what
kind
I
of a
mean?
given.
Like a nerd would be like, yeah, those are cop outs. You can't
Yeah,
say
yeah.
those two because there's
So,
nobody that
I would
doesn't
probably
like
say,
those.
probably Civil War and Winter Soldier, and it's not just because Captain America is my favorite, but because those movies are actually really good.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. So I'm one of those people that try to watch every single Marvel thing that's coming out, and at the time that like the Winter Soldier came out, and this will be spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Winter Soldier or Agents of Shield. So when Agents of Shield was coming out during that time, it was coming out weekly, and when they started syncing them to the movies, so the week before Winter Soldier came out, towards the end of that episode of Agents of Shield, just out of nowhere, like agents just started shooting each other and killing each other, and you have no idea what's going on because it happened out of nowhere, right? And so you're like, what the heck is going on? And then you went to go watch Winter Soldier at theaters that same weekend. Then you find out what's going on, Hydra's and Shield. And then the next week on Agents of Shield, they're picking up the pieces, trying to figure out who's Hydra, who's Shield.
Oh, no way.
So the show itself was linked to the movies. And then after a little while, it kind of veered off and did his own thing. But for the first, I think it was the phase 2 and a little bit of phase 3. It was linked with the show and all that. So it was really cool.
What are we in phase 4 now?
We're about to start phase 4 with Black Widow in July. So,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, in July, and we'll be out there too.
Yeah.
We'll be out there with artists and all that stuff too. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely got to go to the theater for that one.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I've got a lot of really good ones lined up for all that stuff. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Who's going to, are you familiar with King the Conqueror? I've been like,
not too much.
I've been watching like YouTube videos about him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, damn, that MF is going to be crazy, man.
Yeah.
A crazy villain.
Yeah. So
He's doing really good.
I know. I'm really like, wow, dude.
I had to think that one out.
so it's funny because like at work, there's this guy who he's just started watching the Marvel stuff, and he asked me like, so how should I watch this? And there's a list online or there's several lists, but there's a list online where it gives you the exact order of how to watch everything, and including like Agents of Shield, Peggy Carter, and all that and all those
Was
other
it like
shows.
a chronological list?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's slowly catching up, and when you have gone and from the beginning and watched all of that stuff, there's a lot of stuff that happens in some of the newer shows and newer movies that you catch and understand better than somebody who hasn't watched everything.
Yeah.
You don't need to watch everything to understand it, but there's some cool, like you said, Easter eggs and stuff like that's in
Yeah.
there. So like a good example is on the I think it was the first Ant-Man movie that came out. Y'all seen it, right? The
I haven't.
Yeah.
You haven't? Maybe some spoilers.
No, it's okay.
It won't give anything away.
Experiences. I was in Portland when I watched that one.
Was that?
I was in Portland when I watched that one.
Oh,
I just
really?
remember like different places.
So in that movie, there's a scene where they pretty much plant some bombs somewhere, but when they go off, you expect the building to blow up, but it implodes. It gets sucked in instead of blowing out. That bomb that they used was actually came out from the Peggy Carter TV show.
Oh, okay.
So it premiered there, and for the people who saw the show, like when I saw that, I was like, hey, that was from Peggy Carter, and if you didn't see it, like it really didn't matter, but it added a little extra to a bunch of the scenes. And there's a lot of stuff like that in the movies and in the shows that connect other shows and other stuff too, that for someone like me, it makes it more enjoyable.
I think that's just like what makes like those universes like so popular, like the Marvel universe, the DC, or even like the Star Wars universe is like just like the consistency and like the, I guess, continuity of it, of just kind of like if you're that invested, you're going to appreciate those like little extra steps. Or it's with like Star Wars, each and every character, even the extras, have like their own backstories and have like individual names.
Do y'all watch
it's the same with Marvel.
The Bad Batch?
I haven't seen that yet.
Like,
Oh, gosh,
so whenever Rogue One came out, and so far, like has been one of my favorite Star Wars.
That
movies.
one was my favorite.
When that came out,
And The Mandalorian.
I had some big Star Wars fan friends that were saying like, "Oh, you saw this ship and this ship and this ship," and like, that just goes over my head. Like I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess I'm kind of that way when I'm talking about Marvel stuff.
No, I definitely like the George Lucas, that universe. I think they're doing a better job with it now, like kind of correcting everything from the last 3 movies they messed up. But like even that, like just getting immersed in those universes to me is so fun. It's so fun.
Somebody has like imagination like that. As somebody can go there. I think that's just awesome.
I love it.
But so what I think is funny about when people say, "Oh, they messed it up," to some people they messed it up. To other people they're okay with it, and I think that a lot of that is just like subjective. You know what I mean? Like to some people, it's like. If you're really, really into it and you're like, oh, I wanted it to be this, and this, you're always going to find somebody who's going to find something wrong with the way something was put out. The reason why I just take it for what it is because I'm like, okay, the person who made this movie is not the same person who made this movie. They had different visions for it. They had maybe different writers at the time. Like, you can't always get everything to be perfect the way somebody who is like a super like elitist Star Wars fan, you know, you're never gonna make them happy, you know, and that goes for any fan. There's Marvel fans, there's you know, DC fans and stuff like that. They're always going to be like, well, actually what happened was, you know, whatever. And you're like, all right, cool, dude, I get it. But I think it was fine for what it was.
Because even for me being a big Marvel fan, I don't go into these movies like expecting to be exactly like the comics.
Right.
Because I'm one of the people that think like, if you wanted it to be exactly like the comics, what's the point of making it? Because you're already going to know what's happening.
Also, it's an adaptation from a story, like a book or a story. And obviously you can put a lot more information into a book rather than a movie. In a movie, you've got like 2.5 hours at most, maybe 3 hours to put all this stuff in. And you think about the production and how much it costs to actually make those scenes and, you know, all of that. And it's like, okay, if you had all the money in the world and you had all the time in the world and you had all, you know, everything at your disposal, of course you could probably make it exactly like the book, but that's not what we're doing. We got to hit the main points and get going, you know? So it's like, I wish people would just appreciate the effort that went into whatever was done rather than try to like judge it as soon as it comes out. You know what I mean? Because maybe it wasn't the greatest thing, but it was like, all right, it's still a movie. It's still okay. It's still, like you said, it was still your fan service. You still got what you wanted. You know what I mean? Like you got your Star Wars movie. You're good.
I think, there's just a problem. My problem is there's people who get paid a lot of money on YouTube who just overanalyze everything, and then I listen and I'm like, oh yeah, you're right.
Right.
You know, that's my problem.
You're sitting there going, oh my God, why didn't I think of that?
Hey, those movies did kind of suck. But,
and that's why those people continue to do that.
They fooled me.
But everybody has an opinion, right? And so
I do a bad job of letting people's opinions, especially on these things, like influence me so heavy on. I'm already going into it like, oh, that sucks. that's my problem. So whatever.
Yeah.
So you do hair?
Yeah.
Where at?
I rent a booth out of a salon called Salon 1020 off of 82nd in Indiana.
Salon
1020. Yeah, it's kind of hidden.
Why does that sound familiar?
I don't know. It's right off of Indiana and 82nd.
Oh,
there's like a CVS and all that. It's like kind of behind. It's in a weird little spot.
By that smoke shop?
Yep.
Headhunters.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't know if I could say that.
Well, we had the CEO of Headhunters on here before.
Oh, cool.
So
okay. It's by Headhunters. It's right across the street.
Support local businesses.
Exactly. Support local. Go to the Headhunters on Ithaca. And
so we have to give them a shout out every chance we get. Yeah.
I'm like, yes, please. Always support local.
We're always down to supporting local.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing hair for?
13, almost 14 years.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What do you like to do more of?
I mainly specialize in shorter clipper cuts, beards, tapers, all of that stuff.
Nice.
I do.
That.
Yeah. I love it. Honestly, I'm technically a cosmetologist. I should have gone to barber school, but really the only difference in that is that like you're allowed to use razors without guards and
it's like
blah,
sanitation.
Blah, blah. Right. And it's like barely anything. And I'm like, dude, I do what I do. And I taught myself. So
there's loopholes with it.
Right. Exactly. And so also I think if I would have done that, I might have limited myself a little bit to other things. And so because cosmetology covers so many things, But yeah, my strengths are mainly with like the clipper cuts, the tapering, fades, beards, all that kind of stuff. I love that. It's my favorite.
Do you do women's hair at all?
I do.
Yeah.
I have I'd say like 85% of my clients are men. And the other is women. I have lots of I'll still do color and
do you do color
cuts
on your
and all
men
that.
at all?
If they want. Yeah, sometimes I try to talk them into it if they want to, but
How often do they want it?
not really.
Not really?
I get a lot of like, "Hey, Drake, can I show you this picture?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "I want to do this." And I'm like, "Sweet, let's do it." Like, like I'm always down. Again, I'm super for self-expression. So, but I always do try to educate because guys are a lot more like, "Oh, maintenance." I'm not about that. And so I'm just like, if you want to do this, just make sure that you know that, the red or the green or the purple or whatever is not going to last that long. And
That's why I won't do it.
Yeah.
I don't want
So
to.
I'm like, it'll look cool for a little while, but you got to keep up with it. And most of them don't care because they're just going to cut it out anyway. It's kind of just something fun that they want to do. But yeah, I have plenty of clients, both men and women. But my main specialty of what I love doing is men's haircuts.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I am trying to get over the fear.
Yeah, dude, I'll teach you. Like, I have no problem. I love teaching. So
Hey, we might have to.
yeah.
You like shape up their
I'm
beards
very
and stuff?
I'm sorry.
So you like fix their beards and stuff? And trim them up?
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, I can shape them up. And
There you go, people.
Yeah, it's really fun. There's just something very satisfying about a guy coming in who hasn't got a haircut in like 6 months for some reason. His beard's grown out to here and his hair is everywhere. And I let him go and he's all like super clean and polished and smells great.
What's
and,
the Facebook and the name?
my Sheer Sorcery by Dre. That's my Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, so hit me up if you need anything. But yeah.
And your husband's a tattoo artist?
Yes.
Where's he at?
He works at Stay True. His name is Mikey. Yeah,
Where's that one at?
Stay True downtown. It's on Avenue J, 1111 Avenue J.
Right next to Giorgio's.
Yeah,
Is that where X works?
Xavier.
No?
I think
By 1111? Is that what you said?
he works at Emerald, which is yes. So Emerald is
We
here.
were just over there.
Yeah, so Emerald is here and Stay True is here.
Oh, you're familiar with who we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because we went to that 1111 place.
Uh-huh.
And X was right there.
So no,
that's
okay,
why.
no. So
Well, he
you're
came to
talking
us.
about the business that's across the street.
Yeah, well, he
From
just
there,
came and said
it
hi,
says
so that's why.
1111 on the building. So Stay True's address is 1111 Avenue J.
But they are like.
But they are right next to.
Yeah.
They're all in the same little.
Like they're
block.
like
Has he done, how many tattoos of yours has he done?
Quite a few. He just finished. He just did this one the other day.
Yeah, my
which is-
sister would love that one.
So yeah. So again, nerd. It's a dark mark from Harry Potter. All the Death Eaters have it home. I like villains. So Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, he's done a bunch of mine.
I think
lot
that's
of
a
the ones-
sick Kohi tattoo.
Girl, we are best friends now because
Which
ain't
one?
nobody know who Coheed is. This one,
Kohi.
What is
Cambria.
that? What is
Coheed and Cambria. They're a band.
Nice.
And then I have my 2113, which is also Coheed and Cambria. I'm like, do I have another one? I might have one tomorrow.
When your husband does them, are they free?
Of course.
Okay. I'm just-
Hello, he
Oh,
got free haircuts for
that was-
13
that
years.
was a dumb question. Is he doing them at home or at the studio?
Oh no, we don't do them at home.
Okay.
Yeah, no, everything's at his studio. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was both stupid questions.
No.
No, they're not stupid questions. People always ask.
No such thing as a stupid question.
Yeah, no,
Well,
but
doing this long enough, you're like,
no.
shouldn't have said that.
No. People ask. Trust me, doing what we do, and I'm sure you know that too. Like people ask us everything, so we're basically therapists for people in our own rights. So
Nice.
they go to him because they need their ink therapy, and they want to kind of get out of their mind. And they come to me for the same reason, but they just want to look and feel better after they leave me. So
And what do you do when you're not doing the event coordinating?
I'm an electrician. I work for Temple Electric.
I've heard it's not as dangerous as it seems. Is that true? Or can it still be dangerous?
Electricity or construction?
I was like, if you know what you're doing.
Well, this guy who's not the brightest guy told me, he's like,
Well,
maybe
it's
that
pretty
should answer
easy.
your
There's
question.
He was
there's
like-
strikes 1 and 2.
he was like, it's pretty easy. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Well,
as he gets
doing
shocked.
doing the work itself can be easy, but I guess if you do if you take it for granted and get too what's the word, complacent with stuff, you can put yourself in a situation where it becomes dangerous.
I learned doing lights. We'd get up really high,
Mm-hmm.
and once you start like just thinking you can do it easily,
Yeah.
that's how you fall, man.
Yeah,
I've
like
been seeing
I
that.
always tell my guys, like always work everything as if it's hot. Even if you know that it's off, work it like it's hot, because you never know, somebody could turn it on, or for some reason you just forget. Like, so always work everything like it's hot. But yeah, it's not an easy job.
How long have you been doing that?
Oof.
Since the dawn of time.
18, 19 years almost, I think.
I thought you were gonna say 18, like 92 or something.
And there was always, and was there, even like during the pandemic, there was still work?
Oh yeah. So when it came to construction, we didn't even feel it, honestly.
I felt like it kind of it started like booming more. Is that true? Like, 'cause
well, no, I think it stayed about the same.
Oh, okay.
The only thing is that we are kind of feeling it right now, because when the pandemic hit, that's when like the city and a lot of the projects came to a stop. Like, they weren't approving new jobs and they weren't letting anything new start. And usually when the job gets approved, usually about a year or so later is when it actually starts kicking off. So we're now kind of experiencing a little bit of a slow pace when it comes to work, because we're noticing that it's a little harder to find jobs, because not a lot of them are coming up, but it was because none of them got approved back then.
okay.
So little by little, it's starting to kind of kick up again. But like during the actual pandemic, I mean, it didn't affect us. We were considered essential workers, so we still had to go to work and went to work. So.
Has there been any like crazy things happen to you while you're working or your company?
To me, no. It's. I'm probably gonna jinx myself, but it's not gonna work.
Well, there's a reason why I'm asking. There's a reason behind.
I'm very careful.
There's a reason behind this question.
Yeah,
When you answer it.
I'm very careful with everything that I do.
Okay.
I always try to make sure I'm always safe and I'm always doing something right the right way, so that something bad doesn't happen.
So I asked that because there's a house. I'm a landscaper that we mow. That house burned down because of an electrician's mistake. And I was going to ask you, was there, I don't know if you are familiar with this, and was there like a shift in how everybody in the whole city started, like, did they notice it and were like, oh, we better be extra careful? Or did you even know about this?
I mostly do commercial.
Oh, okay.
So
This was the house.
if there was,
I didn't want to ask that and you'd be like, oh, that was my guy.
Yeah, but that was me.
I know that dude.
No. I wouldn't doubt
Or
it if
worse,
there was a
that was
shift.
me.
I was hopeful.
I said, like,
That's
oh,
why I
that was
asked
me.
that first.
Deny.
I'm pretty sure there was,
Okay.
especially with something like that,
Yeah.
because what a lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people that are starting out this kind of work, is that you could potentially kill somebody if you don't do your job right.
Pretty sure their lives were pretty ruined for a little bit.
Yeah. So you could either ruin somebody's life, like that, ruin somebody's house, somebody's livelihood. You could injure somebody really bad, or you could kill somebody, and that's what I try to instill in my guys, that, it's not just what you're doing right now. This is also for the future. If you do shoddy work, you never know. You could kill a kid or something like that if you're
that's
not
crazy.
if you're not taking the time to do something right. So you always have to think about that. This isn't just for you; it's for the people that are using this stuff. So,
Man, I have to ask, what's in your binder over there? Nobody's ever.
Secrets.
so yeah, sure, I actually have a.
It's like doodles.
So it's funny she says that, because I'm
So
such a big
connected
Marvel
dots.
fan. I have like all kinds of Marvel like props, and I actually do have.
It's
a
on
shield.
his cup.
Like, no, I actually do have.
Oh,
a
it
shield.
is.
I have a Shield Director folder.
Yeah.
That's Resident Evil, right?
Yes, this
Yes.
is Resident Evil. But no, so right now it's just like notes and stuff for the Lubbock-Con 2021 stuff. Some of the stuff that we've been planning and stuff that we're working on and all that too. So I have a few notes that we're bringing in. So
What-
like
what
one of the things that I asked one of the original people that started Lubbock-Con, because I wasn't there for the conception of Lubbock-Con, right? So I was there for the year one of all that. So I have the names of the people who actually started Lubbock-Con, because it takes a community to do something like this. So in no particular order, Robert Mora, Aaron Eldridge, Danae Cortez, Ian Wilkinson, Kenny Kenter, Charles Short, and Jennifer Eldridge. Like, those were the people that kicked off Lubbock-Con. That it's because of them that we actually have this convention, and that we're able to do fun things, and even things like this, is because you saw us on Instagram and Facebook. The fact that we have a convention like this, that it's because of them that we're able to have this huge community of people. And it's even how we met, that it was through Lubbock-Con, and there was so many people that I know every single one of the people on this list, and a lot of them, they're like family now. I could not even imagine not knowing them.
Nice.
And if it
Shout out to them.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for Lubbock-Con, I would have never met them.
Yeah.
And that's one huge thing about Lubbock-Con, is that it brings people together. So.
That's exactly how I'm. Like I said, we're from San Antonio, and so we moved here 10 years ago. And being a part of Lubbock-Con, sorry, my thing keeps going off. Being a part of it actually gave us a family here, because we moved here at the time. My husband was a store manager at Zoomies, and so we had relocated over here for that job. And when we came, it was literally just the three of us. We had no family, no friends, nothing. We didn't even know where Lubbock was. We just moved for his job. So we came here completely blind. And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
That's an extra curse word.
I said gosh. We moved here with nobody, nothing, not knowing anything. And when we started getting involved in the art community, and which then led us to Lubbock-Con, that's when we met all of our friends who are now like some of the hugest supporters of anything that we ever do. Friends who are family. I met Ray. Ray's my best friend. Like, I couldn't imagine my life without some of the people that I met there. So it's just, without that, I really don't know where we would be right now here. So it gave me a sense of community that honestly I had never felt before, because even being in San Antonio, you would think like there's a ton of opportunities there. There's a ton of people there, but I felt alone there, if that makes sense. Like, because there's so many people, you get bigger, right? Lost in that mix. You know what I mean? And here there were so many things that hadn't been started yet. And I'm very much a person who, like, if I can't find a way, I'm going to create a way. And so being here in Lubbock has given me the opportunity to be able to create ways and to make other paths for other people, and do that type of thing. So it gave us that opportunity, because Lubbock is a place where you can grow. There's a lot more things that you can bring to people here that have never.
A lot of opportunity here, people.
There really is. I feel like Lubbock has its things, okay, and there's a lot of things that I'm not down with. But the upside to it is that there is room for growth. I think a lot of people sleep on it because they think that we're tiny, but we actually are very powerful here, because we have such a sense of community. A lot of people are supportive and work together. And I've seen so many of my friends who have small businesses, who have created their own businesses. I have one of my best friends owns a tattoo shop. She owns her studio. She's only been doing it for 2 years. And to see the community surround her and support her, it's like, that's really cool to see people, show up and show out to the brand tattoo studio.
Shout out to the brand.
Yeah. Did you get your flash from there?
Mm.
Sweet. Yeah.
I was drunk.
So
Oh, wait, can I
did
say
you do
that?
it at the Two Docs one?
Yeah.
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 That's cool.
Her I think it was her
Noel.
husband.
Noel
did it,
did it. Yeah.
Shout out to him.
So Jessica and Noel are the ones who own that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. So, I would have never met them. I would have never met her, and she's like one of the lights of my life. So it's just one of those things. Like I said, there's such you're so surrounded by community here, and it's so easy to get to each other. He lives 2 minutes from me. Like, everybody lives next to each other, and all of our art stuff. We've always been supported by everybody in that community. I could probably call 4 people right now and be like, "Hey, I'm doing a thing," and they'd be like, "Cool, let's do it," like without even knowing what the thing was.
Nice.
Because we've supported each other so much. We've worked so hard for each other. We've showed up and showed out for each other for so long now that it's like, yeah, we're gonna help each other come up. And that's the main thing for me, is that you can. The funny thing about me and Jessica is like we our husbands work in 2 different tattoo studios, right? And you would think competition, right? But her and I are about like, why be competitive when you can work together? Like community. Exactly. Two hairstylists. Like, why should I be against you when we could work together and be more powerful that way? You know? And so that's how I feel about artists in general too. Like whenever we meet artists, I'm like, we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to survive. We're all trying to make it. We're all trying to feed ourselves and have somewhere to live, you know? And it's like, why am I going to be against you when we could pull our collective powers together and make this huge, giant thing and continue to help others and encourage others and bring each other up? Like, yeah, it's cool to be at the top, but it's not fun when you're up there by yourself.
Right.
You know?
There you go.
So
that's definitely one big thing with Lubbock-Con too, is like you meet more like-minded people.
Yep.
You get surrounded by people who will help you, who want you to succeed just as much as they do. And because even like I do art as well, and I wouldn't have been doing the art that I do if it wasn't for Lubbock-Con too.
Yep.
What kind of art?
I do painting, a lot
nice.
of acrylic. I do some hand drawing, markers and stuff too.
Sweet.
So because like before I just did it like on my own. I did like a painting for friends here and there. And then when Lubbock-Con came around and they actually had like a geek exhibit at Tornado Gallery, and one of the Danae, she actually encouraged me to put my art in there. And at the time, I was like I'm a nobody, like I just do this on the side or whatever. And so they encouraged me for sure to do it. And when I got involved in that, even with that one, I actually like sold my first painting there.
Oh, nice.
And when more people were starting to figure out, like, hey, there's like a big geek community out here, and it started getting bigger and bigger. And now that we're so big, I'm not saying like huge, but we're so big that we fill up the convention center. We fill up every part of it, minus the theater itself. We're working on that. But yeah, we fill up the whole convention center. And you'll find whatever you're looking for, whatever you're into, you'll find it at Lubbock-Con. So
nice.
So like you guys are gonna have a 2022 convention, right?
Yes. Right now we're planning on having one next year. Yes.
So like when would you guys start announcing like guests or like things that you guys are bringing? Like when does that gonna
usually
start being
it'll
announced?
be,
it's pretty early on still.
Yeah, it's still early. Usually it might be maybe around November, December. We know we try to keep it a little more after the holidays, because we know people are more focused on holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and all that. So we do a little more announcement like after New Year's. But we do a few here and there, like around November and December. So.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And where do they Lubbock-Con? What is the Instagram? All that? What's the social medias?
It's Lubbock-Con. Yeah, just Lubbock-Con for Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And do you have an Instagram for your art?
Yeah. It's not very active right now because I'm busy with the Lubbock-Con stuff, but it's X-Ray Ray. It's REY. It's both for Facebook and Instagram. It's the same.
And the movie thing.
X-Ray Ray Art.
Okay.
Yeah.
The movie thing. Y'all be out at Premiere, the mall, right?
Yes. Yeah. Premiere Cinema at the mall.
So this weekend.
The next one? Oh, this weekend?
I don't know when this is airing. For the
probably Saturday.
This Saturday?
This will probably air on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
cool.
On the 18th, which is this coming Friday, June the 18th, is when we have the PopCon movie night. Because this month is Video Games Month, we're showing The Wizard. And it's an old video game with is it Fred Savage?
I think
from the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I've never seen that movie. Lance, he's the one that's helping me coordinate stuff this year as well. You can find him at the Night Nerd, actually. He's really awesome with doing a lot of like podcasts and stuff like that too. But he recommended The Wizard, so we're showing that one, and it'll be on Friday. We have like ticket giveaways online for every PopCon movie night that we have for the month, and they show the movie for a whole week. But on the night itself is when we have like discounts. We have free popcorn. And some of them will have like trivia after the movie, and we'll have prizes and stuff like that too. And then this month, every Saturday, we've been doing gaming tournaments at Contender Esports. I don't know if you're familiar with that place.
No, where is that place at?
So Contender Esports is right next to Guitar Center in the little shopping center.
Oh, okay.
So they have a facility. They have like a lot of PCs. They have Xboxes. They have
is that a new place? Kind of.
They're a little over a year.
Okay.
They opened right before the pandemic.
We got to get them on the podcast. That'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. They're really cool.
Are they
Yeah.
the place that was like having like online school during the pandemic? Like with like all their
I don't
PCs. I feel like I remember seeing that on the news
They
in like
might
that same
be.
I
location.
don't know.
It's like lined with like PCs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
they have-
they're a gaming center,
Yeah,
so
they're-
they have like tons of like PCs in there and everything. So yeah,
Yeah. So we've been having gaming tournaments every weekend, every Saturday there.
Oh, nice.
This week's is Smash Brothers. You
Oh.
still got time to sign up.
I know a lot of people like that game.
yeah.
So like this week is Smash Brothers, and we do the tournament on Saturday, and we even have live broadcast on Facebook Live. In it, we have commentators, and we have like the whole thing.
Oh,
we have
dang.
trophies
That's
and all
cool.
the cool stuff.
Yeah.
And and also Contender will be at premiere for the Fast and Furious event that we're going to be there for. We're going to be there for the premiere of Fast and Furious, or what's it called? The Fast.
I think it's called like Fast 9 or
Fast 9
something
or
like that.
something.
F9.
I don't know.
think
Is,
so.
is that what they're doing?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even at this point. We're just gonna say yes. Yes, they're going to space. Go watch it, so you can come see us.
So like anytime that there's a big premiere like that, we're set up there, and we still have stuff related to the theme. So Contender's going to be there. They're going to take some Xboxes. They're going to have some games for people to try out. We're going to have this awesome guy. He's from Presley Technical Solutions. He is the guy who has the big arcade at the convention. We have a huge free arcade at the convention,
Whoa.
So he's going to be there. He's bringing in a actual sit-in arcade machine, Need for Speed, because it matches
Oh.
the movie and it's a video game. And he's also
Nice.
going to be set up with the Beat Sabers VR, and we're going to have artists and all that stuff too. So every month we have stuff like that, at Premiere and other places if we can find other places that want to participate in the events.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love
Our
arcade
main
games.
thing is
Oh,
to
yeah.
support local businesses and artists and stuff like that. So anybody who has a business or is an artist or whatever, please reach out to us because we're always looking for people who want to be involved. We try to reach out to everybody we know, but we don't know everybody, So if people reach out to us, that's cool too.
And where can they reach you at? What's
So-
your hair
so-
Instagram first?
My hair Instagram.
I know you said it
and-
earlier, but let's
Yeah,
one
my
more
hair
time.
Instagram and my Facebook is Sheer Sorcery by Dre.
Okay.
On both of those. So you can find me there. If you're looking for me for artists for Lubbock-Con, you can email me at artists, ARTISTS @lubbockcon.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate y'all. This was fun. I didn't even know about it. I always love learning about like things going on here, and that's really cool that you guys are like doing things for this community. And there's so much stuff, people.
Yeah.
Oh,
I almost said a bad word there.
So many
Almost
things.
did.
There's so many things. That's another thing about Lubbock is that they don't really advertise a whole lot of
Yeah.
stuff. You kind of got to look for it. And then when you find it, you're like, oh my God, I didn't know y'all been doing this for so many years. And it's like, yeah, we're here.
And a lot of it too, it's hard with Facebook. I don't know if you're familiar. It's like you don't see posts till like 2 or 3
their
days later.
algorithm
yeah.
is
And,
terrible.
So
and
it's
Instagram's like
hard
that.
to reach out, especially
Yeah.
when we have stuff like this year, because we're doing stuff monthly and we're planning stuff like month to month, sometimes week to week, and stuff changes so quickly. And it's hard to advertise that we're doing something because it doesn't show up on Facebook or Instagram or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So if they follow our page, keep up to date and share our stuff, you'll keep seeing our stuff, like all the stuff that we're doing this year.
I know there's people listening that want to get involved.
Yeah.
Just do it, people. Just do it.
Hope so. We need y'all.
Yeah,
And
come on
again,
out.
thanks
We'll
for
take
coming.
you.
I really appreciate this.
Mhm.
We'll have to do this again, like sometime before February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when the actual event happens.
Yeah, for sure.
Or any other time you want to, we can do it. I think I did a good job not cussing. Jesus.
You did an
We appreciate that.
exceptional job.
Almost
That is
threw an
less
F-bomb.
work for you too. So
I almost threw one F-bomb, one S-bomb, but I was so nervous. I almost just said another bad word. But Jen, you got anything to say out there?
So much fun.
Yes.
I am also a huge nerd. I'm a horror nerd. I go to horror cons.
Oh.
So
Yay.
yeah, this is just so.
I'm excited. So, definitely pay attention for.
Yeah, well, I guess we could do a little exclusive one.
Yeah.
So September is going to be horror month.
Yeah.
All right,
So-
well, let's link up.
So I'm like, definitely get with me because
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get as much stuff as we
she's
can.
going to be heading that
And
month.
I'm gonna
so.
be looking for things for people to do or
You
you
come
know.
back on here and we'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll talk
for
about
sure.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
I'm gonna be looking for content for that month.
Yeah,
so,
we kind of
let's
figured
go.
it was
Yeah.
it was too
Yeah.
easy to do it on October.
I was about
you
to
know.
ask why.
yeah,
So-
and October's
what-
always like so full with Halloween stuff already. You know what I
But
mean?
you're preparing people for
and
that.
a,
Yeah, that's
well,
exactly what it
and
is.
a
Like,
true
we
a
were getting
true
prepared
Halloween
for
person
Halloween
knows
and
that
all that stuff,
September
too.
1 is when all of that really starts. I mean, for us, it's all year, but like September 1 is really when.
Have you ever heard of Summerween?
Yes,
I'm hoping somebody does that this year, man. That'll be fun.
I mean, a lot of people do it online.
Oh,
Yeah, a lot of people do like events and stuff online.
I've heard of parties and stuff here.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
that's it.
Halfway to Summerween. Yeah,
If you're listening, people do that.
pretty much we're gonna try to put Halloween in anything. Like so, I still have my Christmas tree up, and it's a Halloween Christmas tree. So
Yeah,
That's
and,
cool.
and if anybody has any content that they want to share that's
Yes.
geek, nerd related, especially if
Anything.
it's the theme of the month, I mean, send it our way.
Yeah.
We'll share it, and if y'all want to do stuff with us too, I mean, we're always down to do stuff with the community, to collaborate with people, to do whatever we can do with the community.
Yeah.
because we're here for the community.
we're here for that.
Yeah.
Feel it.
That's our main focus is to support local and build the community, work together.
Nice. I don't even want to plug my stuff, people. You guys, thanks for listening. Again, get involved. Applaud me. You know what? Like this video because I didn't say a darn cuss word. See you guys next time. Thanks for listening. There you go. Episode 132. Subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the website. Follow Lubbock-Con. That would be at Lubbock_Con on Instagram, and get involved. There you go.